You're listening to AchieveRadio.com. A new drummer for a new awakening.
Hi, this is Anne-Marie, back from a sabbatical of a few weeks to kind of refresh my juices and arrange for guests that are coming up. And today's guests are the amazing Lana Keela, Victoria Lana Keela, and Joseph Gritch, and they are my buds and my spiritual light worker friends, and they are amazing cooks and amazing readers, and to be able to give you a time for we've got a 3-course dinner here going on, and I'll let each person introduce themselves. Hey, let's start out ladies first with Victoria. What can I do? What can we tell us about you?
Aloha, Annie.
There's that laugh.
Aloha,
I love that
Joe.
laugh.
Hi.
Aloha to everybody. Well, I'm talking to you from Elk Grove, California this time, Annie and Joe. I don't know, we've been hanging out together for a long time.
We've been together on Anne's show a few
Yes.
times, I think.
A few times, yes.
Yeah. Over the past, I think, 5 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I think this is probably our third appearance together.
Indeed. And I've been following Annie since Blog Talk Radio. And I also have a show on Blog Talk called The Coconut Wireless, which I haven't been on lately because I'm in the process of taking care of Mom. She needs me now. My father passed away this past summer, so I'm stepping up to the plate. And I'm glad to be able to join all of you today. I'm looking forward to everybody's recipes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry that I have something coming up on behind me here that I'm trying to turn off. And so if you're getting a little bit of repeat here, I'm trying to find out what it is. Joe, go ahead and tell us about your amazing self.
Oh, well, I'm here in Illinois in a very tiny farm town named Reddick, and population 200. And I am in the country, which is very nice. It's away from all the hustle and bustle that I used to know. And I've been here now for about 5 years. So, yeah, that's where I am. And I don't have a show, but I'd like to have a show. I don't know how to go about it. I mean, I think I would like to have, like an arts and metaphysical show, but I'm not really quite sure.
I'd like it.
Yeah, it would be cool.
So-
I think I'd love to do that, and I don't know really how to go about it.
Well, maybe after the show we can all talk about that. And
Yeah, but anyway,
how to
it's
get-
just something that I've thought about for a while, and even back when Anne Marie, you had that show on oh God, I forgot what it was called, Morning Coffee or something like that.
Then we had Blog Talk. We had Brass Ovary
Blog Talk.
Radio.
Brass
I kept
Ovary.
thinking,
Yes, that was
Yes.
when I first started out with Adrian Austin, Crossover Radio.
Yes, and actually
And
that was
then
that was a cool show. Yeah, but I had the idea for I think from that time when I saw what technology can do and how it's a little more easier, than it was before. And I was just thinking, how would you go about that? I mean, do you have to buy the time or what? I mean, I don't know. Do you have
well,
commercials?
I
Can you
think
Oh,
sell
I
here
think
and
ad
there.
time? Can you sell ad time? I mean, you can pick your commercials. Like, say, if it's for a read, for readings or for somebody, you can always like do commercials if you want. I suppose I don't know. It's
well,
it's
I
something.
can say that I can say this. I can say that, and Lonnie, I'm sure you can say this too from the old days.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about the one beautiful thing, and I will say, Achieve is one of the first of its kind. Before Blog Talk Radio and all those shows, there was Achieve Radio,
It's pretty
and
amazing.
so this is one of the first spiritual radio stations, and and it goes way back, and they've had people on this show. Bill can testify. They've had Bill used to have his own show, and and he has had some of the greatest. Give me some names. What was the prima donna of all that psychic stuff? And she's died.
Oh,
Oh,
Sylvia
Sylvia
Brown.
Brown.
Sylvia Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah, Joe. Bill had Sylvia Brown
I
on.
remember. Oh,
He's
yeah.
and
Yeah, I
he's
like
had
her.
yeah, and how quickly we forget. And there are a lot of
She
the
was funny.
very first psychic um, readers that were into. You know, they kind of made it big. Besides Miss Cleo, that Miss
Yeah.
Yes.
Cleo, and there was another woman, another African American woman named Diane. She had her own show on TV, and she also was one of the first. I believe she was even before Miss Cleo. But anyway,
Wow.
Deanna Warwick or Deanna something or other.
No,
But
no, no.
she had
Deanna
something.
Warwick, I think, used to be the spokesperson because no, she was the singer and celebrity, and I think she used to do the commercials
It
for
could.
somebody that was a psychic or for some service
It
because
was called
she.
Friends. It was
Oh,
called
Psychic
Friends.
Friends
Psychic
Network.
Friends.
Oh
And
my
another.
God, it's where people hang up on you like real. I mean, they would offer people, they would advertise on TV and they would offer the viewers, you can call free for a free 15-minute reading or a 5-minute reading or something like that. But what they don't tell you is that you only have like a minute with each psychic. You have to like have 5 or 3 different psychics give you the reading. So, and if you don't want to get charged, which was something astronomical like $5.99 a minute,
Mm.
you have to like listen for a tone and you have to hang up on the person while they're giving the reading. And if you're working for a place like that, it must be extremely frustrating, to like, yeah, you get
I
into
did.
your
I
reading, you
did.
start to,
I worked for the
and
Miss Cleo line.
people just keep hanging up. So they don't have to pay you. Oh, hang up. Oh, okay. I guess you're
But
not
Annie's
really
got
on.
a great. She's got a great rep.
Oh, I'll bet you have some great stories, Anne
Oh
Marie,
yeah.
about that. Um, oh well, but that's that. See how things keep evolving. As those kinds of lines really were flawed at the time because of the technology and just the corporations that would run them. Unfortunately, sometimes they were corporations. So
Yes.
Mm.
Well, I can honestly say that that was my first line that I worked for, the Miss Cleo line.
wow, that's
Was in
interesting.
19 That was in 1999.
I think that was
And
when the heyday of all that.
1998, 1999.
Yeah.
And that was the time that at that time psychic advisors, very ethical psychic advisors, found themselves enmeshed with very unethical
Yes, yes.
practicing managers who would demand that addresses and phone numbers be written down from the clients that they read for, and they'd have to be faxed in. And then
Oh,
at times, and unbeknownst to many of us readers who are just trying to make a living, they would go through the funeral epitaphs or whatever in the nation, and then send shocking little messages like, your husband that's deceased has a message for you.
oh, oh,
and
oh.
Oh
and
gosh.
that was about the time that it all closed down. But I can tell you, Miss Cleo was just a mascot. She was a
Like Betty
convenient
Crocker.
scapegoat for the company itself to be able to put the blame on her when actually she was working for everybody else and knew very little about everything also. So it was
Well,
also
How
a
we've
crazy
evolved
time.
since then. My goodness, it
yeah,
doesn't seem.
because
It
now,
seems like yesterday. Oh
yeah,
my
I,
the
gosh,
marketplace is so much
1999.
better for
I
audiences,
know
because,
it.
they have a lot more to choose from. I mean, now with the internet and all the sites, a person can really pick and choose and, end up with something, a fairly good reading. Because there are many, many, it seems like more than ever, it's like these people are suddenly, marketing themselves, because, you know, it's
Right.
because they're using the medium. I mean, they don't have to have the sign up in their window anymore, and you know,
Well, I think the nice
yeah.
thing, and I don't know about you guys, but the main thing is that there was an episode of time, and I started out in the 70s reading, and then
Hmm.
there was a time where it was still a witch burn for
Yes.
intuitives. And you
Yeah.
did not advertise yourself as a person that had a gift because you would be very looked down upon
Hmm.
by the people in your town or anything else like that.
Right.
So now, and then around 1998, 99 is when it began to be a gift instead of something that was devil worship. So, the feeling is that we have come a long ways as intuitives, and now I think you can be proud of your gift and you can be proud to be a spiritual worker. And Lana, tell us about your spiritual journey.
Wow. Well, all my life, actually, it started at age 2 when I fell down a steep staircase. Um,
Wow.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I fell down an elevator shaft,
Oh
so good
wow.
Lord.
Okay, well
Oh
then see,
yeah.
there's a metaphor there, right? And all I know is halfway down there, I mean, I know I felt scared, but then I felt elated and lifted. And when I finally landed at the bottom of the stairs, I looked up and there were 4 women, what I thought were women, grandmothers looking at me,
Oh wow.
trying to cajole me, and they've been with me ever since, guys.
Oh wow.
And
I
at
mean,
first, I mean, I didn't know any better to feel scared of them. They've always been with me. And as I got older, I mean, my first toy I asked for was a deck of tarot cards. My mother thought that was kind of funny in a strange sort of way, but she humored me. I said, "Mom, look at the pretty pictures." I knew she wouldn't get them if she kind of knew. And I don't know why I knew that, but I did. And anyway, I've been doing this for a long time, but I like you said, Annie, people look down on you back in the old days. So I kept it under wraps, and it's been a journey. And I don't know, as I got older, I figured I was safe. I was safer. And I
And
just came
plus,
out more and more about it. Yeah. And
often though, sometimes people don't even believe you if you do tell them
oh, I
anyway.
know. And it just and
You
it
know.
you really
would
have to come to an understanding with yourself
Hmm.
that you're not crazy.
Yeah.
You're not seeing things. These things are very real, and they're comforting if you just open yourself. And I think that's the part that a lot of people are coming to today. They are seeing enough out there. They're able to attend programs like this online, and there's a support now to come out. Hey, I'm
It's like
clairsentient.
coming out of the closet.
Yes.
Well, what many people find is that after a reading, if it's a good reading, like the kind of reading that you know in your heart is true, even though it's like you already know it when you've been told it, that is a good reading. And many people
Oh,
often
interesting.
feel more relaxed, after, for quite some time after having a single reading. There's something about that. And, the funny thing
Yeah,
about
that
it is that
energy signature.
after the reading, you feel like, I knew that. I know this. And
And you
Confirmation.
just
that's
want
how you know.
confirmation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you know you've had a good reading, especially if I feel really good if I'm giving a reading, and I usually do something with the past, just something really quick, just to sort of like make sure I'm on the right track. And I'm always really happy when I hit on something, because then I feel like it's sort of like, oh yeah, it's like you're mountain climbing, and you're trying to get that hand in the crooks, of the mountain. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm there. I got it. I'm on the right channel, So, but
Do you have
that's
any kind of sensation or in your body or hear a sound or anything when you feel especially tuned in?
you mean like
Yes.
little.
Yes.
And what is it?
Oh, that was pretty cute. I like that. For me, it's like the hairs on my head stand up,
Oh.
and I get this warm feeling in my heart, and it opens like a bloom, and I know that I've connected with that person. I mean, I feel open, like I'm holding them, like I'm giving them a hug, and 9 times out of 10, that person feels the same way. They feel me embracing them. We have that, what we call in Hawaiian lokahi, we have this unity of spirit. It's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And then I know I'm on track,
Yeah.
What about you,
for
Joe?
sure.
Actually, I've noticed that even electronically, like say over the internet and the phone line, I get this same sensation of warmth as though I'm right in front of that person.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, yeah, you could call it a hot flash, but it's not. I've had those. No,
Well,
it's
that's
it's
okay. We'll
the
let you have a hot flash.
it's the aura heat sort of thing that you kind of feel,
Aura.
and
Yeah.
that's how you know that you are feeling them. And when I'm doing a reading and I'm allowed to really focus in on it, it's the best way to describe it for me is sort of like it's sort of a little buzz.
Mm.
Oh.
It's a slight inebriation of some
Those of
kind.
us that know what a buzz is.
Well,
Oh, you get a little high. Yeah, I get
yeah,
you.
just a little. Yeah, it's sort of. Well, I guess that's the best way to describe it. Um,
Yeah.
but it's more of a lasting thing. It's more in my chest, more centered in that sort of feeling. Probably it's because the chakras are all lighten up. For all I know, it could be that maybe that's what it is. But I
I
I tend to be more
I
like
have
Edgar Cayce, I guess, is that I get my best experiences when I'm drifting off to sleep. Actually,
Mm.
like all of us, many of us start to
yeah.
see visions and
Yeah, right
things right
before
before
sleep.
sleep.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll
But
play with that and go in and out of that.
I, I would say I'm probably one of the few baby boomers that is tuning into my tinnitus. Ha!
Ah,
Really? Wow.
My sense
hearing
is
bells.
here's why I say that. When I am when I have found that when I'm searching, and all tinnitus is like the fat between your head and your ears is starting to wear away, and you start to hear. No, it's true, baby girl, and you start to hear your nervous system.
Aha.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's all tinnitus is. But what happens is when I am especially searching, it's almost like pinging, and it's very high frequency. So when I'm doing a reading, it starts out very high frequency. And then as I start to get into the reading and it starts to tune into the answer, the frequency gets lower and lower and lower till it becomes an alto. So actually, as an age-old musician, this works out quite well for me. But you know, this is the way that I experience this from my own personal
Bless
tinnitus
you.
and my own
Pardon me.
sense of
Yes.
high frequency and low frequency. And I tune into that high frequency and that low frequency very astutely. I would say, I want to say hello to Russ from Ohio and Chris from Tennessee and Lena from Tennessee. Got a lot of people from Tennessee today. And we have Cindy from Calgary and in the Inquick. And I do want to invite everybody that wants a reading to please call in at 602-666-6027. And that's 602-666-6027, and you will find that you get 3 very animated readings from 3 highly opinionated people.
Touche.
And
What? Who? Me?
but I think that most of all, let's start out with our recipes, because I advertise
Yeah.
these recipes and I don't want to make the people waiting for recipes to hang on for too long.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let's start out. I want to tell everybody you can find every single one of these recipes, and I'm going to let you just read my recipe, but I want to tune in on Lana and Joe's recipes. Lana, let's start out with your recipe because it's a little shorter, and Joe's is a little more detailed. So let's go with Lana's. And Lana, what is your holiday recipe?
Well, I'm a vegetarian, so this is semi-vegetarian because there's cheese in it and cream of mushroom soup. So it's my asparagus casserole, which I made for my roomies. When one of my roomies had a big package of asparagus she bought from Costco, and she didn't know what to do with it. It was on sale. Yeah, so I put together 4 hard-boiled eggs, sliced, 3 15-ounce cans of asparagus, which if you don't have the asparagus, you have this Costco package here. I just snapped off the hard ends of the asparagus and snapped the pieces, maybe 3 pieces per stalk. So it's a snap, snap, snap. That was really fast. And I used 2 10.75-ounce cans of condensed cream of mushroom soup, 2 cups of crushed Ritz crackers, and 4 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. And then I added to this recipe, I didn't put it on here, but I also used as a topping those French fried onions. Now, these are regular ingredients you would have in your cupboard, folks. That's why I put it together. For folks on a shoestring, or just, I can't deal with dinner, what do? Something that's always baked is always going to be a hit. So what you do is you place the eggs in a saucepan and you cover them with cold water and you bring them to a boil and you remove them from the heat, cover the eggs, let them stand 10 to 12 minutes so they don't get gray. When you remove them from the hot water, cool them, peel them, and slice them. Put those aside. Then you preheat your oven to 350 degrees or 175 degrees Celsius, and you grease a 2-quart casserole dish. Now, 2 quarts puts it right to the brim. One of my roommates decided, she said, you really should use a 13 by 9 inch pan. And so I think I would do that next time, only because everybody likes the crunchy outer part of the casserole, and that gives you more area.
Yeah.
So yes, I know.
That's the best part. Yeah.
Yes, that is the best part. So increase it for the fan. So I'll leave that to you guys. But what I did was I just sprayed it, with Pam or something like that, and I let it go. So you prepare all your stuff. You've got all your ingredients in front of you, and you layer it like a lasagna. So you start out with a little bit of the mushroom soup. Then I put in some of the asparagus, and then I layered eggs, crackers, and some cheese. And I did it again. And I was able to do it twice because that filled up the whole thing. And I used all the ingredients. And I made sure I had enough cheese left over to put on the side. Only this time I knew that they wanted crunchy, so I put it on top. And if you do it before you bake, then it gets really, really crunchy. The best way to do it, if you like it gooey, is to bake it for 25 minutes, take it out of the oven, put the cheese on top, sprinkle the French fried onions, put it back into the oven for another 5 minutes so that it'll melt and be all nice and gooey. And that's what I did. So that's the recipe. It's so easy, and it smells delicious. And they ate it right up. It was so funny. Really
Oh,
fast.
well, it sounds amazing and delicious.
I like casseroles.
Yeah, I love casseroles. It's like comfort food.
Yeah. And it's baked, and it's this way. You don't have to stand over the stove. Well, once you have everything assembled and cut and mixed, and you can just put it in the oven and walk away. It's really nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes. Joseph, what is your recipe?
Well, mine is soup, and it's chicken and lime soup. And chicken soup, it's your basic chicken soup. But with this, it's you start off in a large soup pan, a large, one of those big, crocks, and you add your 2 tablespoons of olive oil and onion finely chopped, and some 6 cloves of garlic thinly sliced, or you could mush it up, or what you call press it. 6 skinless, boneless chicken thighs. I use free range. The flavor's a lot better. You could use. I'll use 6 cups of chicken broth. Again, I use organic. A half cup of fresh cilantro. 2 cups of carrots cut into rounds. 2 cups of green beans. Cut 1 cauliflower. Up, and you heat the olive oil over medium heat. You stir in your garlic and onions. You lower the heat to medium, and then cook until the onions are like caramelized or sautéed. About 7 minutes. They should be a little brown, just a hint brown, or maybe amber. Then you push them aside. You add your chicken, and you brown your chicken until it's golden. And you want to make sure your meat is cooked. When I make this recipe now, I fry my chicken up, and I brown up my chicken in a pan separately first. I prefer to do that when I'm working with meat. Then I don't throw it into the mix unless it's cooked. So I get the soup going. I add my chicken broth, and I throw in all my vegetables, and I throw in my meat, which is now cooked, and everything gets cooked. And you just let it go for a few hours. You bring it up to a boil, let it simmer for a few hours, and you can let it go all day, and it makes the house smell wonderful.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then of course you add your poultry seasonings, and you add your cilantro and stuff, so you have these flavors. And then about maybe 15 minutes before you serve it, I would add a cup of lime. You could use organic lime juice, or just or squeeze up 2 limes. Please do not use that reconstituted stuff. The flavor will change the whole recipe, and it will be awful. It's too sharp, and it's just not great. But use real lime juice. And actually, you could serve it then over some cooked rice or some egg noodles. And I like this recipe because, especially during holiday time, you're trying a whole bunch of different foods, and it's all great, but it's all stuff that's way off your diet. Plus, you're running around. No, seriously, it's not what you usually eat. So I mean, it's going to throw you off in some way, either make you irregular or just and plus you're exhausted, and also you are in more contact with people more than ever, because if you're shopping and there's people sneezing on you, you go to parties and everyone's kissing each other. You just need to have some. Actually, a meal like this, a 1-bowl meal, I mean, you set the table, it's 1 bowl, you scoop the stuff in, and it's just warming, and it's healthy. It's simple food, And chicken soup, it's like medicine. And
Yes.
it's delicious.
It
Yeah,
Yes,
is.
it
very
is.
soothing. It's very soothing. It's very healthy. And now, of course, depending on your ingredients, use high quality ingredients, use organics, and it's really healthy and and the flavors are much more intense and wonderful, especially with all that garlic. And I just love garlic. So,
Yeah, there is something very comforting or
yeah,
something about it's just
and
so
chicken broth,
not only is
yeah.
it comforting, but it also is so healthy for you.
Right. Now,
Yes,
a person
yes.
could even do this by taking the easy way out and just buying a bunch of frozen pre-cut stuff and throwing it all in. It depends upon your preference and, what you
Time
want
too.
to do.
Some people are,
Time. Yeah.
yeah.
I have been known to be short on time, and I might have thrown in, like, say, frozen green beans because it saved me some time. I just didn't have time to chop everything. It was just like, oh, God, it's just, it's bad enough you're doing the carrots and they're flying around the room. They do that. They sometimes just go flying. It's like you got
Flying
to
carrots, there's nothing
right,
worse than that.
right. And of course you have to retrieve it. And you have to rinse it off because it's all full of dog hair. You know.
No, don't say it.
No,
All right,
but
well, I tell
seriously,
you,
it's a very good recipe, and it's very easy to do, and like and once you have everything cut and assembled, it's just nice to let it cook for a while. And I think it's a good house cleansing thing too. It seems like I think.
well, you know what? We've got a few people in the room that I'd like to, spoil rotten and give 3 readings per call. And please know that if, again, you want to call in and be spoiled rotten with us, we invite you to come on up and throw down a tapestry pillow and take your shoes off and sit with us and enjoy some readings with us. We will do you good. So today, the first person that I'm going to go to is Jan from LA. Hey, Jan, how are you?
Hi, Jan.
Hi,
Hey, Jan.
I'm doing just fine. I'm enjoying the show.
What's your question today?
Well, I'm calling in for a general reading, maybe work related, anything y'all might see for me.
Work related. Do you have something specific with regard to work, or are you looking and you want to know how you're doing? What's going on?
I'm unemployed now, and I just wondered if you see me at the same place in January.
Okay. Let's see.
So I want to say, everybody, that do understand that we will do the very best we can to give you a reading in the now. And as we have said before, sometimes the mark of accuracy is what people see going on right now in your emotions to give you clarity that you're having an authentic reading. So I would set a timer. Do 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 do. But it's what's going on? Which one of you is taking over first?
Oh, well, okay. I do see that you're going to have to work hard for your money in the coming months regarding
Work
your
hard
job.
for the money.
Yeah, that song came to mind actually because it seems as
We
though
are old, aren't we? We're
I
really old.
know
We
we're
remember
just
that
dating
song.
ourselves left and right.
I mean,
It's
it's to
okay.
start off, the job starts off really good. I mean, things are fine, but the honeymoon period might be over around that time, and it might be over now. Actually, maybe you might noticing that, like, gee, maybe it's not so great. But that doesn't mean that it's all gone down the tubes. It's just that it's sort of it's a honeymoon period, and now it's sort of like you're getting your baptism by fire. So this does not have to be a bad thing. It's just that your rose-colored glasses are off, and you're seeing your surroundings a little more clearly. I mean, if you're thinking about, like, oh no, I have to get out of here. Um, Really, I would say you could make it work. I'm seeing that I'm seeing that you're making it work. So I would say, and also there are some battles that I know just are not that important. I try to step back and see the broader picture. It's just that I wouldn't worry too much about the small stuff. I mean, there's always going to be something that's irritating. You just have to just overlook it. You'll get used to it.
Lana, what do you have to say?
Gee, I'm in accord with Joe. I see Jan as you're going to get a job, but it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for you. Yeah, the honeymoon period will be very short.
I mean, she'll like it.
Yeah,
she'll
you're
like
going to
it.
like it, but
all of a sudden it'll get hard because it's work. It's not as fun as you thought it would be, but it's going to be an okay job.
Yeah, for a little while, and then you're not going to be very happy about it. So I see you shopping around while you're employed, and it's going to help you figure out. It's going to help you figure out who you are, and it looks like, it looks like that's exactly what it is. You're going to have to figure yourself out while you're in this new job.
Mm-hmm.
So while it's gonna start out great, but it's going to get to be a little tedious for you, and it's going to force you to focus on what you really want, Jan. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but it is a growth period for you.
You know what it is? There may be something that you didn't deal with or that you kind of buried for the sake of just keeping the peace at some point, and I see that that might be something that's going to resurface that you'll have to deal with, like once and for all.
A little history on Jan. Jan was the spiritualist working with a cubicle with angels and crystals on it.
Oh.
And
okay.
Jan was at that time. She says, "I know there's some that look at this like, who the heck is this lady?" But for the most part, I believe she was getting good response from it. But I feel that Jan is going to go through. Here's what I have, Jan. You have a possible job coming your way in January. Take it. Unless you're getting unemployment that is too good to be covered over. I would say that in January I see a job. February, March, April and May and June, I see you having to stay with that job as best you can. But look out for an amazing opportunity coming up in the middle of summer, which seems to be the primo job that you're looking for. It not only offers you an opportunity to have more adventure, it offers you more security, it offers you a feeling that this is the one I could take when I am feeling like I want to stay here till I retire kind of job. And that's what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you are employed, that already makes you employable and increases your opportunities. Even if you don't like that job all that much, I would rather get off unemployment and have a job because that makes you more desirable. If you're working, period,
I know.
it makes you more desirable. And I'm sure you know that.
Yeah. No, I already have a job. Yes. And
yeah,
it's
and
okay.
I saw you already having a job. I didn't see you as being unemployed. I am saying that it might not. You suddenly realize it's not so great, but there are ups and downs with this. I've been, if you're with a place long enough. I mean, I've been in places where I've seen some icky periods, and you think, I should have gotten out. I should have gotten out. But then it changes because people leave. People leave. I mean, if you stay and they go, I mean, actually it gets better sometimes. But
Right.
it depends on your staying power and how desperate and what your opportunities are. But sometimes you could really make it work if you're willing to stick your heels in.
Okay, then we've got 17 minutes and 9 seconds. I'm going to go to a caller from Sacramento, California. Hello, caller. How are you today, and what's your first name?
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Sure can.
Yes, my name is Raisa.
Hey.
Hi, Risa.
Hi, Risa.
Hi, guys. I have a question. I am having some kind of interesting period in my life that I'm in the process of finding a place to rent a house. I'm in the house is looking for a nice place. But my car got stolen last week. Just feel like a dark cloud is following me. And I was wondering if you can check it out and see if any changes for good coming for find a nice place and get the car and have a little bit better luck.
So when is normality going to come back into your life? Is that what you're asking?
If that's what I'm asking, thank you.
Okay. When is normality coming back? And your first name is again?
Risa.
Raisa.
Okay. When is yeah.
You know what, Risa, I got the upside down, the inverted Three of Swords. And, and that means that, yeah, there was like a yow, pain and yikes. And you got really whacked pretty good there. But this is also is the other side of this also, which is great, is that this is followed by like really deep healing and certainly more profoundly brighter days ahead. So you're already dealing with the pain, but actually I see it coming to an end. And since it's a 3, I'd say, I say you're probably coming out of the woods about now or very soon. It just seems like
I would say so too.
yeah. And and actually, what comes to you might not be as great as you hoped for, but it's certainly going to be an improvement, and it's coming soon. Yeah, that's what I do see. Yeah.
Yeah. Hallelujah. That's what I see too. Lana, what do you
Yes,
see?
I concur. I start out with the tower.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. Actually, I went right to the chase at the very end here. I just thought, well, let's see what's gonna happen. Let's just get right to it.
And I also see that this is it's like a reflection of where you're at in your life, Risa. It's like the stripping away of old to make way for the new, and it's going to come. The new is coming as of the new year. So I think right now you've got a chance to step back and look at the way you roll. What did you do to maybe you left the door unlocked, or somebody was scoping you out that you didn't really notice, things like that. I'm not saying that that happened, but I'm also saying that you're now being snapped to awake.
Yeah.
And but it's going to change. It's going to get better. It is going to
I
get
do.
better.
I
I
would
do
add to
see.
that. I would. Me.
I'm sorry.
I would add to that this is the time to learn to respect yourself. You know what? You're in a world where there are people that are always going to step on you if you want, and if you don't want. But people that when you feel insecure about yourself, people zone in on that. And it's like a pack of chickens. Once a pack of chickens or a flock of chickens starts to see a weak chicken, they start to pick him to death. And my sense is that at this particular time, you need to realize that you were giving some insecure vibes, and that now it's time to realize to rise above that and learn your lesson. That when you respect yourself, irregardless of what others feel around you or are doing around you, you will find a weird thing happens, and I call taking your bitch pill. When you take your bitch pill, you suddenly realize people become more generous and patient with you because you're not allowing yourself to be the bottom totem pole chicken. And when that happens, when you take your bitch pill, it feels really icky and foreign and ugh. But my feeling is that if you can just rise above the insecurity, even if it feels like you're only channeling your favorite movie star, the main thing is you will notice that this weird thing happens and people start to become more generous and give you more breaks. And in the process, you won't have to try so hard. So what I'm seeing basically is that any discomfort is more like Joseph and Lana said, this is coming out of this. You're coming out of it. And generosity, respect, and patience are coming into your life from now on after this
Yeah.
month. That's
You
what
know
I
what?
see.
I want to add, and I'm sorry, I wanted to cut in before, but this kind of
Shut up,
struck me
John.
right in the eye. It was so like, oh, I'm sorry, but I want to point out, I'm seeing a bright spot though here. There's a man, a hardworking guy,
Was she like
who
that?
is. Yeah, I'm seeing him like in your present right now, or like soon to be, but
Hmm.
he's not real far away. I don't see it as like, oh, someday. I'm seeing like he's right here, and he's one of these types that, well, his job, he probably spends a lot of time working because he is represented by the Knight of Pentacles, which signifies success, and so he's a very ethical sort of, he's a honest, good, hardworking guy here.
I
So
concur. I've got it. I've got
yeah.
the Emperor card here.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a nice little
Hmm.
thing to think about. So I don't see that as being a bad thing here at all. So
Great.
yeah,
Well, all right. We have
Wonderful.
one more reading and then
Thank
we've got to
you.
go to Lana's
sure.
meditation. So thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today. We
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, Cindy, she's in our In Quick, and she says, "Hi, folks. My husband, I believe, is cheating on me, and I have lightened the noose and am watching him carefully. Do you think he will stop and be faithful to me or not?"
Let's see.
Cheating, cheating.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
dear, dear, dear,
Wow.
dear. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh,
King
new
of
journey.
Swords, and she
Fool
feels like
card.
she has just been stabbed. I see the pain. Uh, um, so why don't you go first, Victoria? I've been going first. Yeah,
No,
sorry.
well,
No, no.
well, actually, I see she's the Fool card came up for me, followed by the Universe.
Yeah.
So, your eyes are open, Cindy, and it's time for you to start a new level in your life. You're on a new journey, and you have got a lot of you've got a whole world of possibility in front of you. I also see that. Let's see. Yes, there are obstacles in your way, but it's because you've not had to not have to be in the driver's seat. You've sort of gotten too comfortable, and now you're jarred into action. And so I think you're going to have to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, girl, because I also see the sun. You can do this. You have a strength that you have yet to discover, and now's the time. It's going to be a new
Joseph,
year.
Joseph, I'm going to ask you to lay off on our readings right now. I'm going to go right into the meditation for the night. Okay?
Certainly. Okay.
Okay. This is our meditation.
The act of meditation for at least 15 minutes in the early morning will have a positive effect on your mind during the entire day. This is a meditation exercise for peace of mind. Upon waking, have these positive thoughts. I am a peaceful soul. My aim today is to have a peaceful mind and radiate peace to every person that I come into contact with. Try to experience the stillness of mind, of being a peaceful soul. As other thoughts emerge in the mind, do not judge or focus on them, but repeat, I am a peaceful soul. I am a peaceful soul. My mind is filled with peace. I radiate peace to the world. I feel the gentle waves of peace flowing across my mind. And as these peaceful thoughts emerge in my mind, I feel the stillness and silence envelop my mind. I am the peaceful soul. I am a peaceful, loving soul. My mind feels light and free from worries. I realize my real nature is peace. Peace of mind in my true nature. Peaceful thoughts flowing through the mind. And now I feel the self becoming light. I'm a being of light and peace shining like a star. I radiate peace and light to the world. The light and peace envelops me, and the waves of peace and light shine from my mind like a lighthouse. I continue to radiate peace to the world as I fill my mind with peace, love, and light. Through this peace, I feel love and benevolence for all souls. I see on the screen of my mind a radiant light, and this light feels gentle and soothing. I, the peaceful soul, feel at peace with myself. This stillness of mind enables me to feel content and complete. This is the wonderful journey of self-discovery. Peace of mind using meditation is a process that involves an extended time period and patience is required.
All right.
I love
Thank you.
that. Oh, that's
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
I actually cried when I first heard it because
Oh my gosh.
it was just at that time when all the terrorists were blasting away people, and it was like, how do
That
I
is
feel about the world right now? It's so hard to feel one with the world when we're all so tuned into fear, which is where the politics are and where all of the, everything is. So
Yes.
thank you,
that was
Lana,
a
for
one
that.
oh yeah, that was a wonderful meditation. That is
Thank you,
beautiful.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, guys, I would like to see this happen again about in 2016. So I'm really thinking about talking
Yes.
to you guys about having a 3 show, and maybe we can do that. And I would really enjoy having 3 partners in the future in 2016, and maybe we could talk about that.
That would be fun.
Let's
Yeah.
do that.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
So we'll have to
So
come up with a new
here's a
name,
little
a new name, but
shine.
something. that we can do that will be artistic for Joseph and attuned to Lana's meditation and, her Master Reiki, and Grand Master Reiki, excuse me, and just my baby booning tinnitus. So, we will find something. Anyway, I'm thinking I have a few guests to go through, but I'm really thinking that's something we should do together in the future for 2016. What say ye?
I think that's great. If people sent in their questions, maybe we could do readings ahead, and then it would make it
or at least
more
like,
efficient
say,
for everybody.
Have like one or two, and then have a few, do
Live.
Yeah, and then but be able to spend a little more time on one or two, just for something a little more detailed might be kind of interesting. Who knows? Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I think.
Thank you for having us on.
Oh, thank you, Anne Marie. It was fun.
Yes.
Ideas are open, and if you have any in the public for us in the future, I believe that we could make this happen, and you're getting the best of three people. But anyway, that's in the future. And for now, Lana, where can people reach you?
You can find me at spreadaloha.wordpress.com. There's a place you can email me there.
Okay.
And I could be found on Keen.com under Lantern Bearer, and I also have a public Facebook page called Joseph the Lantern Bearer. It's not readings, but it's just snippets, and anybody who wants to share anything can. It's sort of an open sort of whiteboard sort of thing.
It's a very cool page. I like it. Both of you have awesome pages.
Yeah, some people, if you want to do a reading, I mean, if you want to do a tarot card reading for the day or something, you can always post it on there. I'll leave it alone.
And I want to say that if you want to reach me for a private reading after the show, please go to thecallingoflight.com. Thank you, you guys. Appreciate it, and we really need to get our heads together about maybe creating a show for three people, and in the future us, and see what we come up with for ideas.
And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
happy
everybody.
Holidays.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Annie, for having us on. Bye-bye.
Of course. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Believe in yourself. AchieveRadio.com on PowerHits.com.
When the rain comes pouring down.